So, Tim, would you share with us a little bit of what was it like working together and what transpired for you?
Do you want me to start with who I am?
You could introduce yourself, sure.
Okay. So I'm an acupuncturist. I'm actually a doctor of Chinese medicine, so I practice acupuncture mainly for pain conditions, but I also do coaching um, around meditation, um, awareness, practicing awareness, helping people through various issues, including trauma or yeah, life experiences. In addition to the pain conditions, musculoskeletal issues, and going into the work that we've done together, you've helped me with uncovering the, I guess, the emotional aspect of my emotional body. Um, and helping expose a blind spot, really, and um, giving me greater awareness around that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And how has that impacted you personally? Um,
Um, having done a lot of meditation and stuff, I thought I was like very aware of like my experiences. I was able to logically make sense of the root of a lot of my problems. However, I think um, I miss the idea of um, experiencing it fully through an emotional lens.
mhm.
So there were a lot of these experiences that I would um, kind of have subconsciously, and I thought that they were resolved, but they would still come up. So when I sat with you through the sessions, I noticed that we're able to kind of like be with them and be more present with it and kind of explore it. And when we did our sessions, I noticed that there was still a lot of like an emotional charge. Although I had thought that I logically had moved through it, processed through it, and grieved through these events, allowing me to like be vulnerable, get into that safe space, I felt like there was still a lot that needed to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, the work really helped me open up to that.
Yeah. And how do you feel when you think about those events now? What was a big difference from before to now?
Hmm. I feel like it's less of an intense trigger, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
Um, there was a specific event that happened, as you know, when I was a child. That I had trouble talking about just openly. And now that I've processed it over and over again with you, I feel like it doesn't have that like heaviness, that weight. And I'm able to like move through that experience now. I'm
Mm.
able to like talk about it openly, and it doesn't have like the shroud of like shame or guilt around it. So I think a lot of that weight was lifted, and it's just kind of like a memory now, like in the like part of the storybook that I was able to close the chapter on.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And what would you say to someone who is maybe facing or dealing with similar issues around emotions?
Um, I feel like with the work you do, it's really beneficial because you're able to like navigate it in a way that is really gentle. Um, And it doesn't have to be like, let's go right into the core of it. It just kind of like the work kind of like helps facilitate the healing itself. Like once we started uncovering like the surface levels, that momentum I felt like continued to carry on. It just got faster and faster, and things kept opening up more and more by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I shared with you, there was like after I opened that door of like emotional experience, right? I was like allowing myself to like feel and be safe with these experiences on the little degree on the superficial level without having to like go right into that traumatic event. It was kind of like, what are these feelings around that event? And then over the span of weeks, it got like deeper and deeper, but in a safe pace that I was like comfortable with naturally because I was like curious to explore. It's like, okay, like I feel like I'm able to accept it. I'm allowed to talk about it. So after that shame and guilt was like removed, then I eventually kind of was like, all right, I'm ready to dive into it a little bit deeper. And naturally, when we met up again after the next few sessions, it was just like, oh, what came up for you? And I would kind of like divulge. And then we would continually process like deeper layers of the onion. So that was kind of like the experience for me until like the onion was just like completely dissolved.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. And would you recommend this work to someone else that is possibly, facing similar challenges?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I think for anyone who's ready, yeah, anyone who's ready to like take on that challenge or like ready to open themselves up to that like whatever it is they're going through, whatever the issue is.
Mhm.
As long as you have, I feel like as long as I have like a little bit of like an openness and like willing to like uncover and explore that aspect, and I think a lot of work could be done and a lot of like progress can be made.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing those insights with us. So
Yeah,
I'll talk to you soon. Okay, cool.